What I found interesting going around the country is that Uganda is the only country where you go and people would be inclined to vote for you if you promise to take them back to where they once were. Can you imagine? Which means we wasted 36 years. If you are going to tell people that if I will take you back to the days of cooperatives, to the days when our education was very respected across the region and people came from all over to study in Uganda, I will take you back to the days, you know, of proper marketing, of when hospitals were actually health centers and not death traps. I'll take you to the days when our people were not being taken for slavery in the Middle East. I'll take you back to those. Somehow, even the people who have grown up in this regime think that that is utopia. Has it ever existed? It actually did once. There was a time when systems worked. When people would go and sell their coffee and all they are given is a note, a promissory note that they will be paid for their coffee. And guess what? They would be paid. Because systems work. Now you try doing that right now. By the way, now that coffee thing, that woman who they gave the coffee industry is an arms dealer. She sold illegal arms to this government, and the coffee thing is a way of paying her using taxpayers' money. Now you go and say Kableta told you that, and it is the truth. She's an arms dealer. She doesn't know anything about coffee. She knows as much about coffee as I know about the anatomy of a penguin or something like that. She doesn't know anything about coffee. She's just an arms dealer. So they are doing their deals. And somehow, these people in parliament started writing promissory notes to her, isn't it? You wrote a promissory note that they would pay her money without any money. But the promissory notes became money before even any coffee has been exported and so on. So anyhow, that's because of one small thing. Those people actually really believe they own the country. And we are just squatters. They are completely convinced the country is theirs. Now, when you see Uganda, for them they divide it. This one belongs to this member of this family. This one belongs to the other one. This one belongs to the other one. I was somewhere in Rwenzori and somebody was telling me how, you know, for us in our party, you know those. I told him, you're chairman LC5. Half of your district is owned by one person who is not even from that district. That person is Muhozi. Now, he's not even from that district. He owns half of your district. And you come here and tell me you're chairman LC5. What kind of chairman LC5 are you? You're just occupying an office. My point is, we have to stand up and actually be serious people. The people that we are contending with think they own Uganda. They actually absolutely think they own Uganda. When they want your piece of land, they will come and make it a national forest reserve. They will put boundaries there and say this is a forest reserve or a game reserve or something. As soon as it is taken away without any compensation for you, then somebody who is connected comes and takes it. That's how Muhozi got half of that district. I won't mention it. Okay? They come and say this is a game reserve. The next thing is rearing his cattle there. But I'm telling you this, Matemba has gone. But I'm telling you that project is not going to work. We are not fools. Okay? We are not fools. The fact that we are doing all these things, and now everybody who loves this country, people are joining us. Even people who were disinclined to it before, they realize that we are serious, and they are joining us. And some of them are not even here. Some of them cannot even come and associate with us publicly because they have other, alignments somewhere, some parties which they represent, but they are with us, and we welcome them. And we welcome everybody who loves Uganda, even those from that yellow party, because they are also slaves like everybody else. You see, Malcolm X brought the term of house slave and field slave, and he said that there are slaves who are called house slaves. For them, they work inside the house, they prepare tea for the boss, they clean clothes and so on. So when the boss has tea, they also have some leftover tea. If there is a piece of bread that is left, they also eat bread that day. Now, for them, they are a higher class of slaves, but they're also slaves. Then they are different from the field slaves. The field slaves are the ones who work in the sun and come and they are famished and they don't have all these privileges. But all of them are slaves. So even I'm telling some of our colleagues in that yellow party, that party is about a family. It's not about Uganda. That party was created to keep one family in power. So if you're not a member of that family, you're a slave. You might be a field slave, which means you eat some bread here, you eat some milk here, if the boss has some is left over. If the flask of tea comes when it is halfway, you drink the rest, but you're a slave. So even them, Honorable Sebara, we shall also welcome them if they want to run away from, because we are all fighting to take ourselves out of slavery. That's where we are. We are fighting for the next generation, so that our children don't say, where were you when all these lands were taken? What did you do when this country went to the dogs the way it did? What input did you have when everything turned out the way it is? Now they have everything, as far as they are concerned, everything is done. They are now preparing to hand over. Oh my God, I have a surprise for them. We are not going down that path.